Today, we're gonna be looking at 10 of my favorite drills that we can do on our Grappling Smarty 2.0. A little bit ago, I did a whole video review breaking down this dummy in detail and why I think it's one of the better grappling dummies on the market. Outside of just drilling your standard techniques and going through the motion slow and methodically and understanding the order of operation that you have to do with techniques, there are also some just what we would call standard jiu-jitsu drills. These are drills that are more cardiovascular based, but they also teach very important weight and balance distributions idea that you use in jiu-jitsu. So sometimes when you go to class or if you're newer to jiu-jitsu, you find yourself doing these kind of weird drills that are never really explained to you any more than just the second or two of being shown how to do it. I want to show you guys some of these drills and why they're beneficial and why actually using a dummy is sometimes more of an asset than an actual live person in training. So one of the first drills I want to talk about is guard passing drills. These are drills that are designed not only to be technical, but also for you to do in rapid succession without a lot of break. I really recommend when you're doing these types of drills that you set a timer to drill and not necessarily a rep count. And this will prevent you from being sloppy with your technique. One of my favorite drills to start off with here is a Toreando pass. I'm gonna touch the knee, I touch the hip, I wanna shuffle until I get to the hip line. And now from here, I push their leg south as I twist their pelvis, I shove their thigh, and now I have completed my side control pass. So I place my hand on the hip, I go to shuffle, shuffle until I'm at the hip line. Now I run the hips back south, I shelve the thigh, and now I'm here in the side control position. From here, I pop back up. Let's look at it from another angle. As I enter, my hand goes to the hip, my other hand goes to the knee. I go to shuffle, shuffle until I'm right at the hip line. Now I push the leg south and I run to twist the pelvis. And now we're here into the side control position. Next angle, here, shuffle, shuffle. I'm at the hip line. Now I go to push and then we're down. This drill is teaching you how to place your weight distribution on them right and how to kind of twist the pelvis and use your body weight to lean in order to help you with this. The next guard passing drill, that's one of my favorites for beginners, is knee cuts. As we enter inside, my leg goes inside, my hand touches the hip, my hand touches the knee. I take a shuffle step, my knee goes to their knee, I pin, now I achieve my underhook, I fan through, and now we could slide to any of our favorite types of side mounts. We could go to case katami, I could start to run my hips back into the pelvis, and so it turns. And now I'm up to the knees, onto my knees into this position. Normally my head would be down, but it's up to talk to you guys right now. So I'm here, I have my knee cut, I'm into this headquarters style position. I take a shuffle step, I touch my knee to their knee, I achieve my underhook, I come through, my head goes down, and we sit through and we slide. Now from here, I run my hips into their hips to twist their pelvis, and now we're in side control. Right, hand here, we go, knee to knee, right, I achieve my underhook. I might have to move the dummy's arms. As we come through here, we sit. Now I run until I twist their pelvis, and now we're good to go. Is this the only way to do a knee cut? Absolutely not. There's a bunch of different ways to do a knee cut, but for drilling purposes, with what we could do with the dummy, it's a very good option. This next drill is how to distribute my weight from side to side and be able to change side control positions. From here, I take the standard head and arm control, side control, and then I would pummel both of my hands as underhooks. I place my head onto the mat, and then I hop to the other side. And this is teaching you how to change sides and use the dummy as kind of a space recognition so you know how far you need to hop and get used to the pressure of doing so. From here, I can go back to my knees. I plant my head onto the other side, and we hop. If you notice, it's almost like one leg comes up at a time, and the other one goes down. I don't know, I think of it kind of like a wave or the old school worm dance move. Can be very helpful, teaches you how to distribute your weight, how to hop over legs for side control. Sometimes that's necessary off of certain scrambles. And so we're here and we're able to hop from side to side. The next area is the arm lock switch from side to side, is that we pop up to a knee on stomach position of the outside arm. I grab it for an underhook, and now I'm gonna stand up and pull the dummy on its side. From here, I step my foot by its lower back, I grab the leg, and then we sit. Now we're into the classic arm lock position. Now to make this a full circle drill, I'm just gonna let go of the arm and the leg, and I always kick my feet south. When I kick my feet south, that allows me to step my leg back over, and now I'm on knee on belly, and I can do the other side from here. So from this position, I get the underhook. I pull the dummy on its side, my foot steps by the lower back, and I'm gonna grab the leg. Now I can sit, I'm into the arm lock. Now the goal is not to lay down and finish. You definitely could. You could throw your leg over the body, but it's to continue the succession of the drill. I step over and we go back to knee on belly. Now we're here. I grab the underhook. I pull the dummy on its side. We step and we're here, right? The next set of drills is going to be from the mount. Now this is another arm lock switch drill. From the mounted position or from the seated arm lock position, we can come up and we can go in. From here, I would reach across, grab the far arm, place my hand onto the ground, and I'm gonna pull my hips up to the shoulder. And we're switching. From this area, we're doing the arm lock switch from side to side. If you notice, there's kind of like a little pause there. When I take my leg off and I sit up, I'm not changing all in one big step. It's kind of like I have to get my legs into the right position. We're in this classic S-mount position is what a lot of places refer it to. And then from here, I can scoop the arm and then lean, throw the leg over, and now we're completing the arm lock. But this just teaches you how to facilitate your body and facilitate your weight into the right spot. So that way when you're doing it on a person in training, you've actually done it before. And this is kind of a terrible drill to be in the bottom person on. It's like you're getting crushed here. The next drill from the mounted position is going to be some back takes. I'll show two options. The first one is for a little bit more of the beginners. It's with a twisting arm or a gift wrap control of the arm. So I would want to move this arm across the center line of the body. My chest lays on the tricep, my hand comes under and I grab the wrist. From here, I could turn them on their side now, or I could feed my arm through and grab my wrist and then turn them on their side. But I have to get them on their side. Now my back foot, that's a kickstand leg, is gonna collapse underneath, and I'm gonna sit my butt on the ground like I'm sitting into a chair. Now we're into this position. Now I continue to fall south. My head's trying to touch their knee, and this puts me into the underhook or weak side position of the back mount position. Of course, you could continue into arm locks if you really wanted to, and then I could turn my feet south, and instead of going to knee on belly, we could just progress back into the mounted position, and we're able to flow again. With that again, I move the arm across, I grab the wrist. From this time, maybe I want to push the tricep and turn them on their side here. Now I go through and I have to have my wrist. I can't take the back without a figure 4 grip. So I go through here. Now my back foot's gonna collapse and we're sitting. The essential detail about this drill that I really want to emphasize is learning how to maintain the underhook side with the drill. So whenever you fall, you wanna make sure that your head is underneath of their head. If their head is like this, where their head is below, my head's here, you're just letting them get out. So you're trying to make sure that when you're doing this drill, you're staying low. And the key part of that is from when you do the chair sit. So when I'm in the chair sit position, right, I don't fall backwards. I think about my head trying to touch their knee. So I'm almost falling like Humpty Dumpty. Like my head's going down, and now we're here. Now I can like look at them. I could give them a wet willy right here if I needed to. And then from this position, of course, I could loop across, frame on the face, throw the leg over, and finish with the arm lock. Now, option number 2 for back takes from the mount, it's more from a quarter guard position. So quarter guard is typically where your ankle is slightly trapped, like they would do an elbow escape, and now your ankle is trapped from here. So we can do a rolling back take or a truck back take. This is a really good move to be able to practice on a dummy because you can take your time. You don't have to be in a hurry. So from this position, I put my hands on the ground and I shoot my leg behind. I like for the drill, figure 4ing my leg, doing a triangle, and now I'm hooking their top leg. Now the easiest way to learn this roll through is to walk your hands toward the feet. So you guys can see I'm able to almost touch the dummy's feet. My far arm, or the one that's closest to their hips and head, right here, it's gonna reach through and try to grab. Now that's what allows me to do the shoulder roll. And now we are here into the truck position, but I'm using this hook or this lockdown hook or twister back take to extend, catch the hip, shrimp, and now I could be able to achieve the backpack position. The ankle is trapped, right? I have the quarter guard position. My hands are gonna go to the ground. I'm looking away. Now I wanna keep twisting my body and stepping my leg over, and I lock my foot underneath of my knee. It's like I'm triangling my legs. Here, I walk my hands toward the feet, so I'm able to touch the dummy's feet with my hands. Now I reach and I roll toward the feet. From here, you should have their hips on top of you. That's an essential part of this move. I extend my legs and catch the hip. And then from here, I can unlock my legs. I plant my foot to the ground, and now I shrimp. And what this does is it allows me to catch the underhook, reach around, and now we're in business. Now let's look at some drills that we can do with the dummy into the bottom positions. And from here, I like to pretend like the dummy is trying to do like a body lock pass to me, or trying to wrap around my legs and do things like this. So what I do is I grab the triceps and I tuck my foot under. As I scoop my butt under, and I'm gonna think about doing a hook sweep. And I'm gonna hook and make the dummy land over here. And the way that I do that is I have to get my leg in, and I'm making the dummy do a forward roll. And now it falls over here. Then from this position, you can start to get up. If you really wanna practice the amplitude part of the sweep, meaning like really flicking and throwing them, the dummy has no feelings, right? So if I'm here, I'm into this position, I scoot, and now as I fall to my side, watch my leg, it's gonna lift, it's gonna make the dummy do a flip. And it flips over to the side right there, is being able to practice elevating the dummy with your legs. Now, my dummy is only about 50 pounds. I believe there are bigger ones out there, but I think this is a very appropriate size when you're learning how to do this skill of learning how to balance people on your feet. Just like when you go lift weights at the gym, it's always easier to start these weird things on lighter people and less resistance or less weight, because you're gonna mess up and you're gonna fail, and then you can increase the difficulty or increase the weight. From here, I scoot and I'm able to lift the dummy. If you guys notice, look, the dummy's hands are off the ground and my legs are doing all the work. I'm able to balance and extend and move around the dummy without it falling. A common mistake I see students make is when they do this, they're not really sure. They're like, oh, and they can't lift the dummy up. It's because your butt hasn't scooted underneath of enough and you're not pulling your knees to your chest. So you gotta be able to pull your knees to your chest, or when they get here, the dummy starts falling off to one side or the other. That just means you don't quite have the balance right yet. That's okay. That's why we're practicing. Now from here, I like to progress to putting the dummy onto my feet. So right here, I've got the dummy's weight over the center. If it's not over the center, you're gonna feel like, oh, my abs are too strong, oh, and it's gonna fall. Or you're gonna feel it be too far to one side and it will fall, or too far to the other side and it will fall. But learning how to balance this evenly through your weight and through your hips right here is essential. Then, if you really wanna work out, you can do a couple leg presses like this, right? So look, I'm able to pull the dummy all the way down to me and press with my legs right here. This is really good control. If you can do this with the 50-pound dummy, then you'll probably be able to do it with an adult at some point too. I actually got really good at doing this myself by teaching kids classes. So when I taught kids classes, I would balance kids up on my feet and spin them around and do all kinds of things. So there's a hack to getting good at guard retention, is go teach kids classes. Here, I load. I'm in butterfly hooks. Now I put my hands on the shoulders. I place one foot at a time onto the hips, right? I could do a couple of lifts. A key detail is that I think about bringing their ear to my ear. So I bring the dummy down first, and then whenever I go to roll, it makes the roll a lot easier, and it helps me do a backwards roll. So what this is simulating is being able to lift and roll yourself over your shoulder and going backwards, except you're just doing it with the person right there. Safety tip is make sure you don't roll over your neck, right? You're looking over your shoulder to roll, but that's what you should be learning in fundamentals class. Now, some of the last set of drills is if we set the dummy up into a turtle position. A very simple drill to do from here would be like a sprawl and spin idea, meaning that someone maybe shot for a double or a single and I was able to sprawl on them, right? I was able to break their grip and my hips are down sprawled. So I block behind their tricep, my hand goes around their head, and then from here I pop up and I put my knee behind the tricep right here. and that allows me to spin, and now I'm into a position. I could even continue around to the rear. Main thing I want to make sure I do is spread the dummy's legs out so it can support my weight. See right here, it's able to support my weight a lot more. I'm able to block the tricep. I get up, and when I spin, I put my knee behind the tricep. Now from here, I place my elbow into the hip. I could do a thigh pry inside. I block the tricep, and now we run around to the hip position. I could go body lock. I could continue down to the side. So we could go into putting in hooks and anything else that you wanted to do from these positions. But this is just a good move to be able to learn how to put your weight onto somebody into this position. Now to continue the flow with this drill, one of my favorite options is to go to a head and arm guillotine out of here. So what I mean by that is as I go here and I sprawl and I spin, as I go all the way to the opposite side, I'm gonna take my arm, my north arm, the one closest to the head, and I'm gonna bring it over the neck. My south hand, this one by its hip, is gonna go between his ribs and his elbow. And now from here, I go in, and now we're into a head and arm guillotine position. And so you're able to train this kind of submission idea. From here, if they started kind of getting a little bit crazy or a little bit aggro, I could put in my butterfly hook, and guess what? Now we're back into the sumigaishi or the hook sweep idea. From here, I could train the rollover aspect, and look, the leg's already inside. Now we go through, and we hit the drill, and we come up, and look, we just kind of created a whole flow right there with several of the moves that we just learned. So let's look at it from a different angle. I'm here into this position, my arm goes through, my arm goes through, my knee goes to the waist right here, my other leg goes over, right? So I'm hanging on, I'm guillotining. From this position, I could slide my leg down and my butterfly hook goes in. Now from this position, I'm gonna lift and make my dummy do a forward roll. Boom, so now we're into these positions. From here, you could go to darces, anacondas, all kinds of things. But if you wanted to train the same flow, look, I do a backwards roll, and because the dummy's on their side, look, my ankle goes inside. Now I walk, 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 walk. We go into the truck or the roll, and now we're able to hit the technique from here. For new people to do with the Grappling Smarty, it's the holidays coming up. So if you're interested in getting one, maybe ask for it for Christmas. There will be a discount code down below that saves you a little bit of money. This is made by an actual jiu-jitsu guy. So if you're wanting to support local jiu-jitsu people, you know, this is a very good cause to be able to do. So good luck, get after it. I'll see you guys in the next one.